50 movies in 50 weeks. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this 50 movie box set from Mill Creek in 50 weeks. The movie I watched today was called The Vampire Bat from the year 1933. And I think this movie was made as a response to Dracula. Not that to say that this is a Dracula ripoff, but there are elements of it that are very Dracula-esque. There's a character in it that is basically Renfield. It's a very similar laugh. It's a very similar performance. Not as good as Dracula, I will have to admit. But I will say that after I watched this movie, I went on YouTube and I found that there was an HD version of it. And the presentation of the YouTube version far surpasses this. But it wasn't like it didn't like ruin the movie, The Bad Picture. Like when I watched Metropolis last week, it ruined the movie for me. This didn't ruin the movie. It was still interesting enough. The plot goes that there is a murder spree going on, and it's suspected that it is a Dracula. There's also a woman stuck in a bed, very much like Mina from Dracula. There's all the components there. It's just the stuff going on around it doesn't quite add up to a Dracula story. In fact, it's the person who's blamed for the murder spree is the Renfield-esque character, and the Renfield character is actually innocent in all of this. But I'm going to get into spoiler territory. I don't think anyone cares, but I feel like that's the only way I can really talk about this. The Renfield character is, at some point in this movie, killed off, and the murders keep happening. And I won't say who the murderer is, but it is a character that we see throughout the film. And you think, like, oh, it's the vampire element is a red herring. There's no supernatural shenanigans going on. And you would be wrong, because the murders are happening through telekinesis and mind control. No vampires in The Vampire Bat, but there is mind control and telekinesis. And it is an interest. It feels almost more like a murder mystery with Dracula window dressing. And I don't know, I found myself enjoying it more so than some of the other movies I've watched in this 50 movie and 50 week series. It held my attention enough, but I don't think it'll last long in my memory. I think if you ask me about this movie a year from now, I won't remember a thing about it. But I had fun watching it at the time. Performances are serviceable. The Renfield character is, he's not as good as the guy from Dracula. And actually, now I'm wondering, like, is it the same guy? If it is the same guy, it's not his best performance. Regardless, I think it was an okay time. I don't have a whole lot to say about it, unfortunately. It is merely an okay horror movie from this time period. And it sounds like my neighbors are working on their lawn, so I'm going to stop the camera before they ruin my audio. So I'll see you next week. Remember, please be kind and rewind.